Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick story on Diddy. Listen, Diddy and his team, they need to focus. And they need to focus like right now. They are still crying about the government doing him dirty. Listen, it's over. It's a wrap. Your third bail bid got denied. Now it's time for you to sit down with your lawyers on and focus on your upcoming trial, May 2025. But no, they still crying. They're crying about the fact that they're saying that the feds are spying on Diddy behind bars. Listen, once you get locked up, I guess they didn't send Diddy the memo or his lawyers. Once you get locked up, unfortunately, now I don't think it's right, but unfortunately, you ain't really got no rights. They could look in your cell, underneath the mattress, in your pockets at any given time. It is what it is, Diddy, and you got to get over it. And y'all know, over here, I've been very fair. But the justice system did what it did, and they said you got to stay behind bars. So it is what it is now. You got to deal with it. So Diddy, the feds are spying on me behind bars, claims he can't have a fair trial. Well, listen, there's not too many people in this world, even besides you, Diddy, that don't really get a fair trial. They said a jury of your peers, but I don't think anybody ever really gets a jury of their peers. What they get in that jury pool is the people who don't mind serving, who's not trying to shuck and jive and avoid serving. And that pool is very limited. Because I know a lot of good people that probably would be good jurors, but they will find every and any excuse not to serve. So Diddy, woe is you. But let's get into the story. So Diddy's defense here is coming out swinging against the prosecution, accusing the federal government of unfairly spying on him amid his ongoing detention. In new court documents, they stay up in the courts, and this is all causing Diddy cash, money on top of money. In new court documents obtained by TMZ, the rap mogul's legal team says the feds have trampled Diddy's constitutional rights and hinders Diddy's ability to fairly prepare for his upcoming trial while behind bars. As the lawyers put it, the feds flagrantly invaded Diddy's confidential communications with his attorneys, once again calling into question the raid on the Bad Boy Records founder's cell at the MDC in Brooklyn. Okay, so the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Diddy's team claims the government has been working with Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP, staff, who have monitored Diddy's communications, including handwritten notes between himself and counsel, and says the prosecutors have then used some of these materials to argue against allowing Diddy to be released on bail. I mean, it is what it is, right? Diddy's attorneys say one particular staffer took a photo of the notes and sent them to the prosecutors in the case. And they say the government orchestrated the jail sweep under the false pretext of a security concern. Listen, they got it off. What are you going to do, right? So it is what it is, and he has got to deal with it. Let's take a listen real quick here. Let me do that way. They also call out how the person who raided Diddy's cell even got their hands on highly debated notes. Let's listen.
There's something nefarious going on while he's being detained at MDC Brooklyn. He says he's being spied on, that the feds have been working with the Bureau of Prisons to systematically take notes and sometimes take photographs and information that is being shared with the prosecutors. And says it means he absolutely cannot get a fair trial. Part of this has to do with the fact that he was denied bail again last week. And he thinks that part of the reason he's being denied is that the prosecutors are getting a head start, essentially. They know what the strategy is that he and his attorneys are going to use because they have seen his notes, handwritten notes.
Remember, with the raid, Charles, and we obviously know how they felt about that there was privileged information. The judge agreed, by the way, that the prosecution should not be able to see. They get access possibly to defense strategy here. I understand.
There is nothing wrong. Let's put it right out there. There's nothing wrong with prison officials, quote unquote, spying. That's a loaded term versus keeping a video or audio record of what's happening in there. Now, when you reach a limit, which is what he sort of seems to be alleging, that they're taking advantage of it to see his confidential attorney-client privileged communications, that goes over the line. But We've been hearing a lot from Diddy, right? I mean, this is.
But isn't that the difference there, Jason? I mean, there are the thing that stood out to me when he said that there are handwritten notes that they are either taking or taking photographs of, the handwritten notes between himself and his attorneys. That's different than a phone call. Obviously, your phone calls are going to be monitored when you're in jail, but if they're
This
taking photos
happens
of,
all the time, and Diddy just has really successful lawyers that are making a big deal of it, really good lawyers that are making a big deal of it. When they raided his cell, they were not going through fine tooth and comb to seeing what they could take and what they couldn't. They were taking everything. This happens all the time. And then you get back and then you determine, okay, these might be privileged, so we can't look at these and we can't consider them for prosecution. That is part of the process. He is being held over for trial because there was enough evidence to establish that he had committed some incredibly heinous crimes, that he was a flight risk, and that he was intimidating witnesses. He doesn't get all the privacy that he wants in there. That's not the way the system works, nor should it, nor could it. And he's suffering for the price of, whether you believe he's ultimately going to be found guilty or not, he's paying the price for being, at this point, found to have be held over for trial.
is part of this a strategy for setting up, if he loses the case, setting up possible appeals, is to put all this out there?
Yes, obviously all of it will be brought up in appeal if he loses. I think right now they're really waging a war in the courtroom of public opinion at this point. That seems to be what this is about, to get people on his side so they don't all sort of abandon ship. He has his, people, supporters. It seems to be that for me right now.
Hi, my name is Kimberly. I am from Florida, sorry. My opinion on this is Diddy, so I'm so sorry about Florida. Diddy cannot be trusted at all. I don't think the government trusts him, and I think that's why they're watching him so closely. We know that he was trying to bribe witnesses and tamper with evidence. He's a boogeyman. He needs to be locked away. I also think he's trying to play victim right now. Like, whoa, it's me. Look at, they're doing this, they're doing that. Keep him in there. Keep denying the bail, because he can't be trusted in society.
Well, that's how prosecutors feel. That's
Right.
the argument they've made now, 3, 4 times?
4 times, no bail. I don't
he's
think
been
he's
denied
getting
bail.
bail. This trial is going to happen in May, and he's
Yeah.
going to be in jail.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to have to sit in jail and just sit this one out. They also call out how the person who raided Diddy's cell even got their hands on the highly debated notes, saying the material was not stored in Diddy's bunk. Like prosecutors previously claimed, rather Diddy's team said the A-lister kept the docs in his locker, seemingly poking holes in the prosecution version of how they came into custody of the notes. The update comes 2 weeks after Diddy's team scored its first big legal win, when the judge ruled in November that the prosecution needed to get rid of copies of the notes. Well, you can get rid of the copies, but you already read it. Anywho, at least until a hearing when he could formally decide whether they could be used in trial. Diddy, who was arrested and indicted in September on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution, has tried and failed to secure bail on 3 occasions, with this raid playing a big part in the latest hearing. A spokesperson for the Southern District of New York declined to comment. Listen, Diddy and the lawyers, focus on this man upcoming trial in May of 2025, because all of these bids going back and forth, complaining in the court, is not helping them get out. And it's a waste of time. And Diddy, it's a waste of your funds, to be quite frankly. But if this is what you want to do, you can keep doing it. But now I know they ain't letting you out. No, they're not. So your best bet is to hire you a dream team. Maybe you add some lawyers, spend your money that way, add some lawyers to this team so that everybody could be looking at every angle to see if what they could do for you in May of 2025. Listen, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Diddy keep going back to the court, crying about how they're doing him dirty. You're in jail, sir. And that's that. Hit the like button. Chat with me, y'all. I'll see you on the next video.